If you are, say so, because that would be a major breakthrough. Ghoul? Isn't that, I don't know, a bit childish? Sure, I'm a ghoul and you're not lost. Glad we got that straightened out. I'm a bit too busy for that, but someone inside would be very happy to answer all of your questions. Anyway, I'm Hilda Stoltz. Hi. I'm head of the organic sector, which is exactly where I'm about to run off to. But don't worry, my Uncle Hugo is very eager to meet you. Just down the hall, in the Overseer's office, as he is the Overseer. Oh, and I've disabled the two-step lock, so coming and going should be easier now. Anyway, like I said, Uncle Hugo, down the hall. Toodaloo!
Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got the system and it works, damn it!
Willkommen. Willkommen. Bitte komm rein. My niece told me to expect you. And do not mind my appearance. I can assure you I mean no harm. Can the same be said of you, though, outsider? Do you intend to harm us? You don't say. Do I act as one, though? No, I thought not. Where are my manners? I did not mean to be so standoffish. You're a most welcome guest here. I cannot be too careful. It has been a long time since we've spoken with anyone from the surface. Ah, fascinating. Is that the faint clicking of a Pip-Boy I hear? How grand. A colleague from another paradise below the ground. Vault 76, I take it? What a pleasant surprise. Oh, don't be silly. You certainly aren't from any of the others nearby. There's no need to be coy. I think we can both gather why I'd come to such a conclusion. Wunderbar. Kismet even. We are having fun now, aren't we? Listen, my new friend. Regardless of what pretenses my dear niece may have brought you here with, I believe I can repay you for your effort. No catch. Just opportunity. As you may have ventured to guess on your trip here, our beloved Shenandoah has seen better days. Less stormy days. I'm in the midst of trying to get this under control, but our vault is still in a bit of a state of shock. If you'd be willing to engage in a bit of freelance work, I'm sure I can provide plenty of payment in kind. As they say, lies have short legs, no? Rest assured, you'll see this is quite the legitimate operation we have here. Perhaps I should introduce myself to assuage any hesitation you have. I am Hugo Stoltz, Overseer of Vault 63, yes, but also a principled man of business from the world of yore. Founder and CEO of Stoltz Enterprises, respected member of Vault-Tech's board of directors, and overall international man of mystery. Allow me to formally welcome you to Vault 63 as our, let's say, outside consultant. Yes, that'll do perfectly.
What if we go back to the surface? Nobody wants to know us because of our
Oh, please. Hugo is just fine. Now, I'm sure you have many questions. I would expect no less, but I promise your first task will help you answer much. Speak with our Chief of Security, James T. Oberlin, and fetch me his latest situation report. I'd like to have him vet you a bit before we proceed any further. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer questions for you about our current predicament while you're at it.
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing. Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
What would Cassie do? Oh, my dear Cassie, what are we gonna do?
Ah, the one from outside. How's the storm? What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our, you know?
Is this a bad time to wonder if I left the weapon test running after my last shift?
What would Cassie do?
You reckon that storm is gonna get worse? Or better?
Oh, my dear Cassie, what are we gonna do?
There was a landslide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened.
What would Cassie do?
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
What if we go back to the surface? And nobody wants to know us because of our, you know, condition. Hey there. Anything I can look at for you today? Any signs of the condition? Seeing someone do so much good around here. It's refreshing. There was a landslide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened.
Hopefully Daniel will report in soon.
Wow. Your skin isn't split at all.
Been expecting you. As if things weren't bad enough. Now I have to keep an eye on an outsider. James T. Oberlin, Chief of Security, Vault 63. Formerly United States Army. Ordinarily, an outsider would report directly to the security offices. But as you've seen, Mr. Stoltz isn't fond of ordinary. How exactly did you end up on our doorstep, outsider?
There was a landslide around the mansion. I wonder how that happened.
And you were able to dispose of them. Interesting. Must mean you have some combat training. That could be helpful. Well, considering I'm entirely lacking any sort of credentials or background on you, perhaps you can fill me in on your history. At least you're honest. Mr. Stoltz buzzed me ahead of your arrival and filled me in on the situation. Sorry for the test, but wanted to see how you'd present yourself. I appreciate your attempt to take this seriously, but I won't say I don't have my doubts. Let's see how this plays out, though. Here's my status report for Mr. Stoltz. You're dismissed, unless you have other questions.
These jumpsuits don't leave much room for expression.
Fine. It's only fair that you're briefed on our situation. Our facility houses a large-scale weather control device. Some decades ago, an accident rendered it inoperable. However, a recent event has led to its reactivation. With that, we have the storm, along with other unexpected outcomes. One of our top priorities is bringing it back under our control. A number. An earthquake for one. A series of unidentified electromagnetic events for another. When the earthquake hit and the storm took shape, we were informed of a surge of energy near the proper entrance to the vault, back up north. This likely resulted in the security door being propelled some great distance. Interesting. Were these different times, I'd be tempted to weaponize such a thing. Yes, significant damage to the tram tunnels that once connected the various research sectors of this vault. Additionally, damage to the manor grounds directly above have caused some structural integrity issues with the atrium. Perhaps most concerning, though, is the various exposed entrances to the vault spread throughout the region. This has led to an increase in the number of lost now on the surface, which isn't good for anyone involved.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
Very well. 63's construction had fallen behind due to its lofty and ambitious size. This left our population exposed to extreme levels of radioactive fallout after the bombs fell. Those of us that survived the exposure ended up like this. But working with us so-called ghouls won't be a problem, will it? Understood. Anything else?
Vault 63 has lasted.
Our former friends, family,
No reason to think it won't
neighbors.
keep lasting.
An accident some decade back led to their creation. Their condition is irreversible. Beyond that, I'll leave it to Mr. Stoltz's discretion on further details. Just know, they will kill you on sight without mercy. Communication is impossible. Do not hesitate to strike first. Been expecting you. expecting you.
Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
Been expecting you. Been expecting you. Been expecting you. James T. Oberlin, Chief of Security, Vault 63, formerly United States Army. Ordinarily, an outsider would report directly to the security offices. But as you've seen, Mr. Stoltz isn't fond of ordinary. How exactly did you end up on our doorstep, outsider? And you were able to dispose of them? Well, consider... You do seem fit to fight, at least. But that's not really an answer to my question. I won't fault you for a lie by omission, though. You seem eager and able enough. I've already been made aware that you're a dweller from Vault 76. Mr. Stoltz buzzed me ahead of your arrival and filled me in on the situation. Sorry for the test, but wanted to see how you'd present yourself. I appreciate your attempt to take this seriously, but I won't say I don't have my doubts. Let's see how this plays out, though. Here's my status report for Mr. Stoltz. You're dismissed, unless you have other questions. Fine. It's only fair that you're briefed on our situation.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks.
Our former friends, family,
Barely fresh
neighbors. An accident some decade back led to their creation. Their condition is irreversible. Beyond that, I'll leave it to Mr. Stoltz's discretion on further details. Just know, they will kill you on sight without mercy. Communication is impossible. Do not hesitate to strike first. Fine. We believe they possess the ability to channel electricity from the storm, though we're still not sure how. Perhaps consider rubber gloves next time you want to shake their hands. Again, the rest is classified. That is correct to a degree. Mr. Stoltz had been afflicted during the same accident that created the Lost. However, he retains his sanity and his ability to communicate. Well, retain sanity is perhaps a bit. Actually, I apologize. This isn't water cooler gossip. I believe I've answered your question. Mr. Stoltz can explain the rest. That's fine. What is it? Good. Is there a reason you're loitering in my office?
These jumpsuits don't leave much room for expression.
Right, Hugo. Keep it together. You are a Stoltz. Act like it. You proud?
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing.
You reckon that storm is gonna get worse or better? Looking for someone? What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our, you know... You have beautiful skin. It's unsettling.
Sound if a tree fell with no one around.
Don't make me call security.
You reckon that storm is gonna get worse? Better. Are there many like us out there? You know, with the skin?
Do you think we should bring our concerns to the Overseer?
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
The new animals up there, any of them good for eating?
You reckon that storm is gonna get worse or better?
As if things weren't bad enough. Now I have to keep an eye on an outsider.
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
You reckon that storm is gonna get worse? Or better?
Ah, you've returned. I've just been thinking on some things. Yes, that. Don't worry about that now. I have a question for you. Tell me, are we our brains?
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a
Oh,
breath of
heavens,
barely
no.
fresh air.
Nothing quite so supernatural. Consciousness, perception, encoding and the formation of memories. To take the observable world and sculpt from it a translation of ourselves, of others. And in the eyes of others, how many versions of us exist? What's that? Oh, I have completely gone off the rails. I apologize. You have the spirit of an old friend about you. I've forgotten there's much new ground to tread between us. I may have failed to mention this before, but I am or was blind. Born that way. After the incident that left me in this state, I became able to truly see the world. Well, perhaps it's more accurate to say, I feel the world. Pulses of electricity, waves bending and refracting, gentle hums of life vibrating shapes into being. This world I see, I share it with the lost. I live as they do, yet I remain myself. Perhaps more myself than I was before. But others were lost to it, and to us. Friends, colleagues, loved ones. When they witness this world, they're minded... Well, I suppose I cannot explain what their mind perceives, just as one could never explain sight to me before. We have been trying to learn why this connection was permanently severed between us. Desperately so.
We go back to the surface. Nobody wants to know us because of our, condition.
A scientist, are you? Just like my Audrey and little Hilda. We are unsure of why, but we suspect that my condition may have mutated differently than others. Perhaps it was my proximity to... Oh, never mind, B. This sort of talk is dreadfully boring. All of this is to say we need your help, my friend. There are many problems at our feet, and you are uniquely equipped to help us. Do not sell yourself short. You are clearly skilled in combat, seasoned by the world above, and knowledgeable on vaults. You're going to face a variety of challenges in future tasks, but I'm confident we've found the person for the job. And pay we will. Let's discuss next steps. There's 2 sets of investigations I'd have you undertake. Your new friend Oberlin can fill you in on one, and I'd be happy to walk you through the other. Take a moment to relax and process. Speak with either of us when you're ready to hear the details. And once again, I cannot contain my excitement in having you on board. Willkommen im Team, mein Freund.
The new animals up there. Any of them good for eating?
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
We felt the whole vault shaking a while back. Security said it was nothing to worry about.
We felt the whole vault shaking a while back. Security said it was nothing to worry about.
Make it quick. Your assignment does not require knowledge of the vault beyond the immediate area. You will find adequate signage for familiarizing yourself with the premises. Perhaps later, if you prove capable, we can talk in more detail. If I had time for idle gossip, I wouldn't be seeking your assistance in the first place. You'll have to speak to someone else. Point taken. Very well. The residents here are still a bit shaken up by recent events. And some less than recent events, for that matter. I'd recommend a light touch. You're not here to babysit. But there's also no need to be resistant to their requests. And unless Mr. Stoltz himself walks in here and says otherwise, I'm not at liberty to disclose anything further. I've been spread thin dealing with surface-side security concerns. My more menial tasks have started to slip through the cracks, however. I can tell you're equipped to handle much worse, but tackling some issues from my backlog would be of great service to me. At least as a start. There are 3 in particular who often bring up issues to me. You can start there. They are vocal. They'll be more than happy to provide details on themselves.
It's a shame we don't have the work.
I understand you value your time. However, I currently do not. Handle this for me and we can discuss fish of all sizes. There are 3 residents that have been complaining about a myriad of concerns. Margaret, Lawrence, and Julio. Your best bet is to track them down. They're likely lounging about waiting for someone else to handle the hard work. They should have more than enough to keep you busy for the time being. Report back when it's been handled. In the meantime, I have other matters I need to attend to, so please, if you'd excuse me. I've got my eye on you, outsider.
I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Ah, screw it.
You have
I miss how it was
beautiful
before.
skin. It's... I'm so tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a...
Have you heard about... Ugh, again?
Yeah, people who eavesdrop are the worst.
Oh, a stranger. We haven't seen anyone from outside in a while. What brings you here? Now, why would we tell you that, stranger?
Yeah, a real nosy stranger. Hey, Julio, get it? Because they got a nose and we don't.
It ruins the joke when you explain it, Lawrence.
Is there anything else? That we've spent far too long cooped up here. I can't wait to get back to work.
You said it, sister.
Is there anything else?
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know,
What's a
before the
ghoul?
accidents.
Is that what they're calling our condition outside? Those bastards.
That means this is a widespread condition, and not unique to us.
I suppose we do look ghoulish. Smooth skin? That's an interesting way of putting it.
Ooh, I like that. Those smooth-skinned bastards.
If we make contact with the outside again, it wouldn't hurt to use their terminology.
Thanks for the intel. Is there anything else? Chief Oberlin's finally getting around to dealing with this, huh? And sending in a stranger to boot. He must have it tough. Yeah, there's a few things we've brought up before. Most of it in the lower levels. Things like strange noises coming from the generator room. People are scared to go check it out in case one of the Lost are in there.
Oh, also, we have a huge rat problem in the storage room, as in, huge rats. Last time I was on a food run, something jumped right past me and snatched it. Damn near took my arm with it, too.
And, someone should probably take care of Alfie.
Yeah... Alfie was one of us, but his condition got worse until he got us to lock him in his room. He's probably lost his mind by now, but no one could bring themselves to do what needs to be done. You didn't know him, though. If there's anything you could do for him, we'd appreciate it.
Nobody wants to know us because of our...
You reckon that storm is gonna get worse or better?
Alfie was a good guy. Had a tendency to overdo things, though.
Remember when he skipped work because he wanted to find out if we could still get hangovers after the change?